So right now, we're live streaming on YouTube. So if you don't want your face on YouTube, I should have told you that before I started live streaming, you might want to just blank your picture out right now. So if you're on an FBI list somewhere, sorry, change your name. I don't know. Okay, the way that I'm going to take attendance is if you need to take this class asynchronously, in other words, if you have roommates or brothers and sisters that are cannonballing you and you can't quite pay attention, just go away. And this, what you can see, you can either watch on YouTube, or I'm going to put this little button. And so the recording of this class will also be posted on Canvas. So it's the same, it's just a recording of the screen and everything else that's going on. So I will be sharing my laptop screen like this. Okay. And so there's my chalkboard. There's my whiteboard. Okay. And so what I have is I have my cool pen and my magic sparkly font. Wait, there's my magic sparkly font. Okay. And I like the darker magic sparkly font better. It's really the same. Okay. My little menu's in the way of trying to change the font. But anyway, but I have this little program. I will have graphics and I will have pictures and I have all sorts of stuff for you on the screen. You can watch it again later if you missed something. I also will export these. They export as what's called an SVG file, which if you open in Google Chrome, you can zoom in and zoom out just like you do on, like I do on this, because I can zoom all the way in and make lots of details on things, and I can zoom all the way out and make things very small. And so what we'll do is you can manipulate the image in Google Chrome the same way that I'm manipulating the image here. Okay, so the goal is to try to make this as much like the college classroom experience as I can, standing in my garage. And it's still not quite 80 degrees yet. I have to turn on the fan though. My people, if you're in my stats course, I will probably have wet hair halfway through stats. Because I'm going to go jump in the pool when we take a break in stats, because it gets really hot in here right around noon. There's no insulation at all in here. It's just wood and my daughter's wonderful artistic drawings. Okay, so I'm going to end the share here and go to this screen. All right, so I'm going to go and open up we'll talk about that in a few minutes. Come on. The stupid Windows gets in the way. This is my favorite part about this computer. I do this all the time, just when I'm thinking, wiggle. Okay. The problem is it gets stuck sometimes. And so like if I'm trying to move the window and it gets stuck and I can't like unstick it and it gets all distorted and weird. Sorry. Okay. Keep going. Go on, computer. Google Chrome has been really slow lately. My phone answered me why.
I definitely agree.
Yeah, it's my wife was complaining yesterday that it's been slow, and I've been noticing it's been slow too. And it's not. Yeah. We had to upgrade our internet last year, so we have like amazing internet right now at the house. We have a AT&T gigabit fiber. It's awesome. Any gamers in the room? My son is getting 250 frames per second at 0 ping. We built him a gaming computer this weekend. On Fortnite and Destiny, he's getting over 200 frames per second. So, sorry. Okay. So on the screen right now, it should be the main page on Canvas. This is the syllabus. Starting on Thursday, as opposed to seeing the syllabus, a schedule will be up here. Okay, so you'll see a schedule with links on it. The links will be taking you to, for every class, we're going to have a short little discussion. The reason why we have the discussion is so that that's how I take attendance. So if you're not here synchronously, I'm not going to punish you. I don't punish people anyway, but if you're not here synchronously, then use the discussion to, quote, participate. unquote, in class. Okay. So all the Zoom information is there. For some reason, if you lose it and you can't find it, the textbook right here. Let's see what the world has to offer for our textbook right now. It looks like you can rent it for not too much money, 12th edition. I really hate digital textbooks myself. So that's interesting. Ebook PDF for 16 bucks. Anyway, you could probably find it pretty inexpensively. I think our bookstore is selling it for $200.
Yeah. I got the 13th edition.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm just saying it hasn't really changed much.
Mm-hmm.
Rent for $45 or buy it used. Okay. So I haven't seen the 13th yet. I haven't got a copy of that one yet. But it's the core content of the class is pretty much the same since the 11th. So which one is that? That looks like the 8th maybe. Oh, the international edition. Yeah. That's a 10th edition. If you're really strapped for cash, just get what you can. And if you do what there's on Google Books, I found out it was there. Here's the 12th. How'd you get the 13th? Never mind. Okay.
eBay.
Okay.
On eBay, but actually didn't receive it yet. I was just checking. I was like, where is it? And I put the tracking number on the UPS and it says tracking number does not exist. So yay me.
Yay. Good idea.
Amazon.
Okay. How much was it on Amazon?
Like 190 something.
Yeah.
I got it for 13 something.
Yeah, I don't think you did.
It was 90 something.
Yeah.
98. Sorry.
Yeah.
Confusing books.
Let me see if the 13th actually exists. Oops. 123rd edition. Oh, you probably got, yeah, it does exist. That's good. Okay. So is that the Calet one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Cool. That's his daughter, by the way.
Okay.
Okay.
Do we need the 12th or the 13th edition, right?
Yeah, honestly, the 11th would work fine too.
Okay.
I had a copy of the 12th edition. It's in my office. I have not seen the 13th edition yet. So, I mean, I have it on an ebook. I just haven't gone through and looked at it too much yet because it really hasn't changed much. What's funny is that every year the book gets shorter because there's less things that we guess about and more things that we know. So the book gets like, oh, here's some theories. And now there's just, here's how it works. So
And when do we need the book by?
Okay, so as soon as you can, it'd be the best because the first unit in this class is just learning about how to talk about the brain and the vocabulary. And so I have a vocabulary list for you that I will send out that will help you if you don't have the book. But just the vocabulary list is just the first way of starting this class. So, but I mean, if you can start talking to other students and you can take good notes, the book is there because I can't cover everything in the time that we have to cover everything. That's a very wishy-washy answer. Just as soon as you can. Okay. If you need to get a hold of me, you can text me. I have this because I don't have an office phone anymore. Well, I do, but I'm not there. If you text the cell phone number, it goes right to my phone now. Before I had it set go just to Google Voice and my email, but it just goes right to my phone now because the email spam was filtering it out on my campus email. And so as a result, let's just text it. If you have a problem or you need something, please just text me. And I can, I'll get back to you pretty much right away. Unless it's after 9 o'clock at night. I usually go to sleep at 9, and I apologize, but I get up at 4. So actually this morning I slept until 4:30. I felt kind of guilty about that, but it felt so good. I was dreaming, it was awesome. Anyway, but if you text me, I will text you back. because I really want you to be, I want you to be successful and I want to be accessible. I don't have a physical office that you can just drop by and chat. So please just text me and I will see what I can do. Diego from Stats last semester texted me, hey, I need to get in the social psych course, but I can't figure out where it is. I texted him back right away. So as I scroll down, we basically are going to be doing a lot of little discussions this semester. A lot of your points will be coming from discussions. I haven't built them all yet, so I don't know what our total points is for the semester yet. But there's going to be about the majority of your grade is going to come from these little in-class discussions. And I'm going to be asking you questions, and then I'm going to have you ask questions. And answering questions is the way that you can basically process and understand information. And so the goal of it is to try to have an interactive discussion going while we're doing class, not literally at the same time, but along interwoven. So some days we'll be not Zooming, and I will be giving you time to do those discussions and get caught up on stuff and do something. So the attendance, this is kind of silly, but you really, it's really hard when you don't have someone sitting next to you holding you accountable. It's very difficult. Unless you have a cohort, it's really easy to just not click into class. There's a million reasons why people can't get onto class. If I put up this little, let me put the people ID up here, participants. How many people in here if you click on the little participants, you can raise your hand, I think. Or you can click yes. How many people are using their phone to do the class? Isaiah is, I am. Wait a second, Martha's confused about something. Wait, my little chat box is in the way of something else. There it goes. Oh, this is 140, Martha. So I use the same Zoom link for all my classes. The stats will start at 11. It's like the same classroom for all my classes. This is Psych 140. Okay. So 3 of you so far are using your phones. So using your phone works great. And that's why, I mean, honestly, the sound quality and the video quality using the cloud meeting on your phone works really well. And it's actually, I think it's better than on my PC. So using the phone to participate in class is great. The problem is you can't see the screen as well. So like when I'm doing the screen share, this is tiny. And maybe you people of a younger generation with eyeballs that work, whatever. Actually, I don't need these glasses when I'm on my computer. I'm just so used to wearing them because I have my desk, which is an old TV. Here's my old TV. Wait for it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then my standing desk, and then I have my tablet, which I write on, and then and full disclosure, I'm wearing gym shorts. I'm not wearing nice pants. Yesterday I was wearing a bathing suit, and yeah, okay, I'll be wearing a bathing suit in about 45 minutes. Anyway, so I would highly suggest having a piece of paper and take old-fashioned notes. Don't just take screenshots of stuff, or just don't, just watch the recording and just think that you're going to get everything. It's really important to write stuff down because it's a way that your brain processes information. And the more time you spend with the information, the better it is that your brain processes it. And it has to do with using more parts of your brain. All right. So here is the calendar, okay? The calendar will be at the top, probably starting tomorrow afternoon. So this calendar will be at the top of the Canvas page. So when you log in, there'll be a calendar. If we're having a Zoom, it will say, Zoom, and probably have the link connected to it. If there's like, for example, the nerve and nerve impulses, what we're going to talk about on Thursday. in one of my biology classes, we spent, I think, 2 weeks talking about a nerve impulse, one nerve impulse. We're not going to go that much details. Okay, so on Thursday, that's the next class, we're going to Zoom and we're going to go through how a nerve cell is and works. And then we're going to start right away, start talking about synapses. And then the following Thursday, we'll probably have no Zoom, and I'll let you digest things and we'll have a discussion. So then anatomy followed by the discussion. Okay, so, or it says exam 1. I will have an activity for you to do on Zoom. You can do it off of Zoom if you don't want to, but it's worked really well in the past where we did it in Zoom and breakout rooms. Okay. My students in my cognitive class did this last year and they did a really good job with it online. So we're going to do it with this class as well. The tests aren't worth nearly as much. All the little discussions that we're going to have, which will be linked to these, are worth more points. So the reason to have a test is so you have some sort of consolidation at the end of each little unit. All right. Whew. Any questions so far? So if you're on your phone, let me open the chat again here. Anybody? Okay. I only use my computer for schoolwork, but I'm currently in the car. All right, Tammy. That's funny. One of my students, Stephanie Ann, is always in her car when we're Zooming things. And I had one student last semester that she had to, and where she lived in Hamul, she had crappy internet. So her and her whole family would be in the Suburban driving around looking for good internet in order to take the class. And a couple of times her kids are cracking up at the stuff that I'm saying because I'm realizing it's probably not appropriate for the 9-year-old in the back seat, but the 13-year-old thinks it's absolutely funny. Whatever. Okay. Hey, whatever we can do to make things functional is what we can do. Okay. So I need to assign jobs to some of you. If I forget to start the recording or I forget to start the live stream, please somebody tell me. Also, if I don't have the chat up on my window, I don't notice someone's in the chat. So if something pops up in the chat and I don't say something, somebody just say, so-and-so said, or just ask the question yourself, or check the chat or something, because it's not up on my screen. I can put it on my screen, but a lot of times if I rotate the screen around, I lose the chat. Or trace right, okay? So now it's back on my screen again. Okay, so again, the goal for my job is to try to make this class as accessible for everybody. If you have any special needs or you have any, you need any help with anything, or you have accessibility access problems, please, please, please let me know. I'm going to be sending out some resource pages for you coming up later this week. This little link of PowerPoints right here. I don't use PowerPoint. I use my tablet to draw on. But in this PowerPoint link, here's all the chapters of the book, PowerPoints. These are the ones that the publisher sends out for us. So we can open it. This is a Linux computer, so it has its own special version of Office that mostly works. Sometimes it doesn't work. We'll see if it works. There it goes. Okay. I will get the 13th edition slides and put them up here as well, see if they're changed. Okay, but so this is basically, if you really, the basic level of this class, if you can know these PowerPoint slides, that would help you so much. Just something to do, something to look at, something to study if you can't quite get the book yet. All right. So far, so good? All right. So I'm going to put this up here and stop the share. All right, I'm going to start sharing this one. So I'm going to guess that only one of you knows what this word means. Let me zoom in a little bit because S-M-E-U-S-E.
Like the dance?
The dance? No, I didn't know that was a dance. It
Yeah,
could be.
look it up.
No, that's sneeze. This is different.
This is smooze.
Muse.
Oh.
Sneeze is a dance.
Smeeze.
That's
I'm afraid to look it up.
Sneeze.
Oh, that's a U. I thought that was an A.
No,
Oh.
the sneeze is a Bay Area dance. If you're from San Francisco and San Jose and all that up there.
Oh,
They have
cool.
this
Bay Area
new
crowd. Okay.
dance. Yeah.
So what's a smooze? I heard this on the radio this weekend. That's why I have to put this up here. And this has a point. Trust me. Someone Googled it yet?
I'm on it.
I Googled it. It's a hole in a hedge or a wall.
For what purpose?
I'm going to continue to Google it.
Is that one of your bike stuff?
Nope.
Your passage.
It's made by an animal.
Yeah. Okay, so now this word, smooze, is a critter passageway through a hedge or a wall. Okay, so what the reason why I'm bringing up this stupid word right now is that now that you know this word smooze, when you walk around in the world, I want you to try and find one. You're allowed to go outside, please socially distance and wear a mask. But when you go around and walk around outside, just walk around the place that you live and find a smooze. And the question I have for you is, have you ever seen one before?
No.
Like a random hole?
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
what's the difference between a random hole, which is called a random hole, and a smooze?
I mean, if you look at the pictures on Google, it's like a I don't know, it's like a passage. Like it's pretty cool.
Random
Well,
animals use.
Like Alice in the Wonderland?
Yeah, Alice in Wonderland type stuff.
Yeah, that would be a course of there's a hole underneath the root of a tree. And you look at it and there's like a little bunch of little footprints and some crazy late rabbit and a psychedelic 12-year-old. If no one's ever seen that statement doesn't make any sense, but if you've watched it, it's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, but I could, if my webcam was long enough, I could show you 2 smoozes. There you go. I could show you 2 in my house. Well, we have a rat problem, and it's not our problem, it's the neighborhood's problem, because there's rats everywhere. The restaurants around here haven't been open, and so the rats are hungry. So they love our neighbor's compost heap, and they love my tomatoes in my garden. And so I've become Elmer Fudd over the summer. I actually started mid-semester last semester. I got 9 in the spring, and then they disappeared for a while. And I've gotten 7 more since the semester started. Not semester started, sorry, since the summer session was going. And so, but if you look around, you can find out how the rats are getting underneath or in your house by looking for a smooze. And you can tell it because it's a critter passageway, not just a hole. So now the reason I ask you to go look for them is because once you have a word for something, what does it give you? My pen's gonna gag here. Once you have a word for something, what does it give you?
A better
An image?
understanding.
Okay, it can give you an image, a better meaning.
An association.
Yeah, it makes an association. It connects parts of your brain together when you have words for things. And if you use the word thing and whatchamacallit for everything, which one of my good friends says all the time, whatchamacallit, go over to that whatchamacallit, versus if I say, hand me a Phillips screwdriver versus give me a screwdriver, the word Phillips changes the way that I view what I'm looking for. Or some people use different words, like as opposed to wrench, some people use the word spanner, if you're British. And so give me a 15 mil spanner. I'm going to sit and stare at them until I know Give me a 15 mil wrench. Oh, okay. What's easier if you have people that don't handle tools much helping you is take a piece of different color electrical tape and wrap it around the wrenches of different sizes. Hand me the red one. Yes. It's much easier with the children helping you do maintenance. All the kettlebells in our gym have different colors on them. It's red, blue, yellow, white, green, another red, and then purple, and then silver. And so why do we care about the different colors? What do they have to do with anything?
You associate them with the weight.
The weight, the color tells you what weight it is. And so like when I was supplying our little home gym, now that we can't go to the regular gym, I bought a 25-pound kettlebell. I've got a 45-pound kettlebell. I've got a 53-pound kettlebell, and I've got a 75-pound kettlebell. And my wife goes, but what color are they? Why does she care what color they are?
It's more fun with colors.
No, she does. When she does her shoulder presses, she uses the reds or the blues.
Oh.
She doesn't have the weights that are not in her consciousness of her words.
Yeah.
See how that works?
Yeah.
And by taking this class, we're going to give you a bunch of words. We're going to give you a bunch of smuses, a bunch of little critter passageways that you can start connecting things together. And understanding the vocabulary, understanding the words of this course, give you an understanding that is much bigger than just understanding the words, because then you can start making associations and you can start connecting together. It's the same thing as a bunch of you were in my cognitive class last semester. That class to me was so awesome. And the reason is because I learned a bunch of new vocabulary. I've never taught the course before that connected a bunch of theories that I understood from different perspectives before. It was great, so mind-blowing to me. I can't wait for the next semester to teach that class again because I learned so many more ways of understanding stuff that I already know. And so you all know psychology. Most of you take an intro at some point. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take intro apart and look at how the brain influences all those things we talked about in intro and give you a bunch of vocabulary.
That is so exciting.
Well, it's exciting and terrifying at the same time because how many words don't you know?
All of them.
All of them? I know 4. Yeah. But it's like...
I know the brain.
Right, brain. You're not allowed to answer the brain, by the way, in this class. People do that all the time. Like, where is it? The brain. No. It's like saying, where is it? In San Diego. No. Okay, no. Be more specific. And it's like by using these little critter passageways. It's my metaphor for the semester. Once you figure out this word exists, it opens your mind to the fact that these exist in the world. And that's why don't you think you're supposed to say Voldemort's name?
It's associated with something bad.
But more than that, why does Dumbledore call Voldemort Tom?
Give you a different understanding of him.
And also the name Voldemort gives him power because it recognizes the evil Lord, whatever the heck Voldemort is, and as the evil dark wizard versus calling him a student's name. Sorry, Harry Potter reference. We were talking about Harry Potter this morning with my son, so it got stuck in my head. Yeah, I'm trying to convince him to finish reading it, but he's trying to binge watch as much as he can before the summer ends, because when the summer ends, he can't use his computer he can only use his computer for school, and he can't play games on it till Friday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, he gets games. The rest of the week, he's going to be bored stupid. So he's actually watched all the Avengers movies. He's watched both Iron Man movies. And he's going to start the Spider-Man ones here in a minute. So he's really sinking it in and lowering his IQ as much as possible here. He's trying to talk to me about it, and I haven't watched any of that stuff. It's too violent. Just listening to it makes me nervous. Ugh. Okay. So now, whew. So the way class is going to work, I really, really, really want people to interact. I really want people to say stuff, even if you don't understand. Okay, I really want you to feel comfortable or feel free to just say, hey, I think this, or I think that, or guess blindly. The reason is because if you are interacting versus sitting and passively watching, it's better. So periodically, I will dump you into breakout rooms. And I know some of you hate that, but I will dump you into breakout rooms so you can discuss things in a smaller group where it is a little bit safer than in a large group. And I know for some of you that the small group is actually less safe than the larger group, not to point at anybody on my screen. But at the same time is that it's by working in little small groups, if I give you a small problem, you can all realize that you don't know the answer, and that's okay. My intro class today, I dumped them into a room and asked them, how do you measure the mind? And they all just sat and stared at each other in the different breakout rooms because they're like, well, I don't know. But I mean, there is no answer to that question, by the way. And we wanted to see what their thinking process of how they defined the mind was, what was the point of it. So the assignment that you have to do today, I don't see how many people have done it in this class. Let me escape this. How do I stop my share? There we go. All right. So if I'm going to I'm going to go zip over to Canvas right now, and I know you're not on there, but so 12 people have filled out the who are you? Okay. So this is a little just a quick little assignment that I want to find out yourself. Okay, who you are. And the reason why we do this at the beginning of the semester is just to share a little bit about yourself. And especially this semester, we're really focusing on your culture. Sadly, this class, we don't get to talk about culture very much. And the main reason is because this class is about how the tiny little parts of your brain work, which is sadly not much as far as culture. But your culture is really important. And the reason why it's important is because it defines your SMUs. What's the metaphor for SMUs mean?
Half.
Connection or association with something?
Yeah, connection or association with something. And so everybody here has a different set of little critter holes that they define themselves as. And what's funny is that a lot of people will, like in my morning class, basically identified themselves as Middle Eastern. To me, that is a very, yeah, but Verna, but that's not, Middle Eastern's like saying European. Or like saying, I'm from the Americas.
Or now not even, oh, some of the doctor's office now do have it, but like I'm supposed to be identifying as white.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, and that according to, we can get into that cultural, that people around the Mediterranean were considered white. But Egyptians, well, no, that's part of Africa, so we can't call them white. Which, anyway, we won't go there. But but so then what's interesting is when we look at how you identify yourself, try to think about what your culture really defines you as. And again, that's not really relevant for physio. It doesn't really influence physio, but it does help you define your SMUs, help define yourself as a self. And what's interesting is the reason why we want to do this is I want you to see what the other selves in this class are. Some of us are going to be much more excited about this class than other people. And that's perfectly okay. If your major is like, there's a bunch of bio majors in here because this is one of the psych electives you can take that fits your bio course. And so you get to more fun things to take. But there's a lot of also people who want to become counselors in psychology, which you're not going to use much brain stuff in. But at the same time is understanding where we're all coming from really helps us connect together with each other. And understanding the words that we use to describe things. Like one of the things I asked is, what is your favorite food? I think I asked that on this one. Yep. And it's fun. It's really interesting is that how many people like certain foods. And is it because you were raised with those particular foods, or are they comfort foods, or just to explain it and why that's important. So what was the other one I asked you? Oh, religion. And where do your relatives live? Why is that important?
Where you're from?
Does where you're from influence the way that you see the world?
Definitely.
Totally. And it's not, we're not trying to do it as far as a punitive or a negative thing. It's just, it's really important to see someone's background, where they come from, where they see the world. And it's one of those fun, I think it's a really important thing because our society is extremely biased. And that's why, Verno, a lot of people from the Middle East put down white is to avoid bias. And if there's no categorization for olive. That's what they used to call people from the Middle East back in the 1800s. They were olive skinned. And the lighter skinned ones were considered a higher class than the olive skinned ones. Because, the poor peasants in Greece and Italy were darker skinned. So therefore they were looked down upon. Yeah. Anyway, so versus Aubrey, the opposite. Okay. Very Scottish heritage, Northern European. Aubrey, where's your family from? Sorry, I'm muting.
It's okay. I'm adopted, so I'm not quite sure, other than I know my biological mom is from Norway.
Oh, and it's really great, but every so often we get people from Mexico that look just like Aubrey.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, so you can assume where someone comes from, but there's the blonde-haired, blue-eyed, red-haired people from Mexico as well. And it's very interesting just to understand. One of my students did a 23andMe and shared their cultural background, where they came from. And it's to me, that's really fascinating. But again, more relevant in my intro class and my other classes that deal more with the social psych stuff. But at the same time, it's definitely cool to start the class with that. And also it's a way of taking attendance on the first day without much stress. Okay. I will send an email out reminder tomorrow night if you haven't done it yet. Miley, you're killing me here because I'm over at 84 degrees now and you're cold.
My dad,
He's got Wally voice.
70 degrees in my house.
Jeez, you're so lucky. Yeah, our air conditioning will run full speed all day and it stays at 78. But we have the thermostat set at 78. But my son's air conditioning vent in his room is right under his desk. So I go in there and he's wearing his bathrobe and everything else, and he's all freezing trying to sit and play video games while he can. Okay, I can't wait to pull the plug on that. Okay, it's gonna be great. He's gonna go walk outside and blink and look around like, what's this? All right, we've been going to the beach almost every day this summer. So he plays beach volleyball 3 days a week. And so he's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, he's down at the beach playing volleyball. And so he's not completely reclused and he is tan. So that's good, but that's about it. All right. So does anybody have any questions? I'm going to do this first.